Welcome to the morning show here on Core Finance with me, Rob Double, coming over from Core Politics to cover for Nick Batford this morning. But I'm of course joined by Matt Brown, Core Finance's own. Let's start off with the core headline or the market movers. What's this say? Markets get a boost as US Senate passes tax reform bill.
Yes, big kind of move to the markets. Obviously we saw a sell-off on Friday in the US with regards to everything going on with Russia, FBI, etc. So that we saw the US market sell off. But on Saturday early morning, the Senate has passed a tax reform bill. This is good for obviously the Trump administration, having failed with Obamacare and a few other changes that he's trying to push through. This has certainly helped the markets, and we've seen them boosted on the back of that. European markets are performing very well. Crude oil has fallen as well, worth noting, on the back of OPEC agreeing to keep production cuts for 2018. And, well, Bitcoin just continues moving to the upside.
And we've of course had some political news this morning that the Treasury is announcing some form of regulation for the end of this year coming into 2018 as well, which is significant, I assume, as well?
Yeah, well, for Bitcoin, I mean, some may see that as a negative. Obviously, the government's aware of the rise in Bitcoin, how people are getting involved, and especially kind of small retail investors are trading Bitcoin and becoming, it's been in the headlines for the past, certainly the past week. It's actually a positive for Bitcoin because it's actually giving some validity to the Bitcoin currency and cryptocurrencies. So the government is aware of what's going on, regulation, anti-money laundering, know your KYC, know your client. But actually, as I say, it is actually supporting the Bitcoin currency as a whole.
Okay, let's move on then to FTSE One to watch. We've got Sky here. What can you tell us about Sky?
Well, Sky, an ongoing saga. Now, Walt Disney are looking at 21st Century Fox. Now, Fox own a 39% stake in Sky, and it's likely that if Walt Disney do agree a deal with 21st Century, that they may take the Sky holding, or Sky share. Now, that's very interesting. Walt Disney looking to get into certainly sports and entertainment on the television, on the digital side. They've also set up their own channel as well. So interesting to see Walt Disney expand into that area. And I think Rupert Murdoch will probably be quite happy to see that stake sold off in Sky. On the back of it, Sky is trading up 2% today. So certainly that story will develop over the coming weeks.
Okay, let's have a look then at the AIM stock to watch. Lions Gold.
Yeah, Lions Gold, small company, picked this one out. They've had a placing of about £550,000 that was successful last week. They've also another placing of 200,000 sterling they've managed to raise. They're looking to get into the fintech space, so actually have a gold digital currency similar to cryptocurrency. So they're a miner, but they're looking beyond just getting gold out of the ground and looking at that whole digital crypto space. So it's a very interesting stock to watch. Market cap, I think, is about 3 million, so quite a small company. But we're going to see that more probably miners, oil and the likes of gold, commodity miners getting into the cryptocurrency space and using the value that they have in their mines to leverage up and really take advantage of cryptocurrencies.
Understood. Let's have a look at the currencies then. What can you tell us about the pound?
Well, at the moment, trading below the 135 handle, we've seen a bit of weakness. This has been on the back of dollar strength, this coming from the tax reforms. But today is key. We have a meeting, certainly looking at euro sterling, with Theresa May meeting Juncker and Tusk over lunch to agree, one hopes, a final figure on the Brexit divorce bill. What's your take on that, Rob, being from the politics side?
Interestingly, well, there are a lot of reports saying, 90% there, we're nearly there. This is a momentous day for Theresa May, for the EU, in terms of getting this deal and actually getting these promises and the guarantees out and everything moving forward. However, interesting, some reports coming through this morning, particularly from European agencies, saying actually officials are saying don't get too optimistic yet. The meeting still hasn't happened. A lot of noise being made at the Irish board. Obviously, that is an incredibly significant and tricky issue for the UK and Ireland. Not as much attention being played on the European Court of Justice, though, and I think that is going to be a real sticking point for the EU and the UK. And perhaps at this meeting, I think Theresa May has been reported as saying she hasn't got a solution to the Irish border, nor has she got a solution to the ECJ going into this meeting. So whether actually they can get to some kind of conclusion over the course of a lunch is going to be interesting to see. So certainly that news is coming out, just after midday, meeting due to be meeting at midday, something like that.
And that could move euro sterling as well. And if we do see an agreement and that comes out, that will be positive for the sterling, negative potentially for the euro. So you may see a lot of volatility and movement around those announcements. Who do you think is going to pick up the lunch bill, though?
Oh, the EU. Surely it is. Just put it on the bill, put it on the tab. Let's have a look at broker updates then.
Yeah.
What can you tell us is going on here?
Rentokil initiated as a buy with a price target of £4 by Goldman Sachs. So look out for that stock, Rentokil, the rat catcher to the Queen. It's been a stock that over the years performed very well. Growth, continued growth, 10% year on year. Recent years hasn't been performing as well, but Goldman Sachs coming out with a buy target on that. That should be one to look out for.
And then, of course, we've got the call number 800. What's the 800 about?
Well, I picked this out. This is Facebook. Now, they're looking to add 800 jobs in the UK. They've opened a European headquarters or a UK-based headquarters recently, and I think they've got up to about 2,400 jobs, adding another 800. So that looks positive in a post-Brexit environment. We need tech firms to be based here. UK citizens are still going to use Facebook, and Facebook needs to have an understanding, especially when it comes to advertising and how to approach UK citizens separately. So it's positive in the fact that these big tech companies are still happy to have headquarters based in the UK.
And significant news as well, because this office will be Facebook's biggest engineering hub outside the US. So in sort of the global Britain, outside the US, we are their secondary hub. So very big news as well for UK staying in the sort of forefront of the latest technologies, the latest online innovations. So good news for the UK, absolutely, looking ahead.
Oh, I mean, definitely. And you look at the UK, certainly pre and post Brexit, that's one thing we're good at, and one hopes we can continue to be good at and develop the fintech space. I mean, this could be the new area, the new economy for the UK, and outside of Europe, we need to stand on our own 2 feet. So good luck to Facebook.
Fascinating one to watch as well. Let's have a look at the economic calendar then. We've spoken about what's happening at 12 o'clock, but just talk us through that again.
Theresa May meeting Jean-Claude Juncker, and I believe Donald Tusk as well. He's going to be there. Table of 3. That could
all
be
the big names.
All the big names, indeed. It'd be interesting if they're eating humble pie or revenge.
Having their cake and eating it.
Exactly. if revenge is served cold, I should say. So that is the big focus certainly for UK traders today. Factory orders coming out of the US at 3 o'clock this afternoon may move the needle a little bit, but I think just further updates on what's going on with the FBI and Donald Trump and the US tax reform are really going to be moving the market today.
And that's when America wakes up, obviously, in a few hours' time.
Yes.
Matt Brown, thank you very much.